Hello my friends, and welcome to the XCOM Impossible Ironman campaign. Now, the vote for the next campaign, the game that was suggested was XCOM 2. And technically this is XCOM 2, because the first XCOM game was actually the first Enemy Unknown, which was released like 20 plus years ago. This game really should have been XCOM 2. And XCOM 2 should actually be XCOM 3. But it's not semantics is the reason why I'm doing this game first. I will do XCOM 2. But I actually think that XCOM 1, or Remake 1, whatever you want to call it, I actually think it's the better game. It's in my opinion, the better game. Let me just turn down the amazing music from this game. So, here's the issue I have with XCOM 2, or XCOM Remake 2. It's like a game that was made by fans of this game. You know, the whole plot of XCOM 2 is so weird in that, like, so humanity lost, and then 20 years later, you know, Bradford's rescuing you, the commander. And, you know, he's just talking to you like you were lovers or something. It's really jarring, if you go back and play XCOM 2, and we will at some point. The whole story from the tutorial part of the game is just really jarring and cheesy, and part of it doesn't even make any sense. Like, when they're escaping, the two aliens have stood there, letting them escape, where they could have easily shot down the, I don't know what you want to call it, the VTOL that is picking them up, and so on. But it's not just story semantics that keeps me away from the second game, of course, because it never is. And don't get me wrong, I finished the second game, I finished this game, I finished them both I finished this one back in 2015, or I think probably earlier than that, 2013 in fact. Look at the dates of my old save games. I finished this game back in 2013. None of those save games work, by the way. The game has changed fundamentally, I guess, since the first release, so all the save games that I had are broken. And I loaded up XCOM 2, and I finished that game back in 2016. But my issue with the gameplay of the second game is that it's got the same issue like a lot of games that are fan versions of real games. In that the beginning is really hard because you haven't got anything, and then suddenly, you know, you've got custom gear, custom mods, custom characters, custom everything, and you're getting so powerful so quickly that then the rest of the game becomes really easy, and they have to introduce ridiculously overpowered aliens to counter your ridiculously overpowered units that get more and more ridiculous as it goes on. Like, for example, I loaded up an old XCOM 2 save game, and the sniper in it has got a move called Serial, where if they kill an enemy, they get their action points back, so they can just fire again and again and again and again and again and again until the ammo runs out. They're like a more crazy version of In the Zone from the first game. But in this game, sniper rifles had quite limited ammunition, so the most kills you could get was 4. And you could, you know, in XCOM 2, you could put an extended clip on your sniper rifle and literally wipe out whole waves of enemies with just one character using this one move. You know, it feels like they just wanted to tack loads of stuff onto the experience. I think the first remake is a more pure, better balanced, more interesting experience gameplay wise. They're both excellent games, don't get me wrong. But I just think the first one is better. And having finished the second one, I still think that. Also, there are some fun options for the first XCOM. You know what's kind of funny is the game is easier if you turn the tutorial off, but I can't turn it on. So the tutorial's actually got a really good story. Like, you know, it really sets the scene for the game. But during that tutorial, you're basically forced to let 3 of your guys get killed. Now, if you turn the tutorial off, those 3 characters will not die. Or it's highly unlikely that they'll die, because you will do a better job than Bradford did in the first mission. So, actually, turning the tutorial on would make the game harder, but you're not allowed to. It's just like one of those funny things that doesn't make any sense. I think that's true of XCOM 2 as well. If you turn the tutorial mission off, you get 4 guys on a mission, and you can potentially win that mission without losing any of those guys. Whereas, if you play with the tutorial on, only 1 character will survive, and the other 3 will die. Okay, now, this is where the fun begins. One thing that I really like in the first game that they added was rookies have starting stats. Stats increase randomly, and the training tree will be randomly generated. Now, this is not because I like randomness, because I don't, but it's because what it does is it really rewards carefully selecting characters, looking through their synergies, looking through their stats. And as your characters develop, they might not be as, you know, because as they unlock things, they might unlock things that aren't very useful. As those characters develop, they might not be, you know, the best characters or the most interesting characters. Now, without these features turned on, I could play this game from beginning to end on the hardest difficulty and probably use the same 4 to 6 characters throughout the whole game and never lose any of them or change any of them, and never risk, you know, bringing rookies along to level them up, because it's not necessary. But these 3 options really actually change how the game pans out. Like, you might have a character that has really good skills, and then they're on your A team, and for their last 3 levels they get 3 garbage skills and they get 3 rounds of bad stats. And so you are incentivized to train up someone else that might potentially be better, and so there's always a thing of wanting to cycle characters in and out of your team to see if you can create something better. Most of these are economic things. Some of them actually make the game easier, so we'll just cover some of these things. Damage roulette is just randomness for the sake of randomness, so I'm not a fan. That's just randomness for randomness. You know, once again, new economy is just randomness for the sake of randomness. But this is exploitable randomness. This is just pure randomness. This can be exploited because obviously you can see what funding is on offer for each council member. So you can divert your precious satellites to the ones that are offering the most money first. So this potentially will enable a good player to get rich faster. So I can't recommend this unless you want an easier time economically. I like the idea of it, but since you can choose who to favour, then you just favour the people who are offering the most money. Save scum. The actual correct definition of save scum, for once. Save scumming is not reloading a game because you lost. It is saving a game just before a result and then reloading the game repeatedly until you get the result that you want. That is actually what save scumming is. That is the correct definition of save scumming. It's more of a D&D/RPG thing. But you know, if people are save scumming, you really probably need to make your game less random. Red fog. To be honest, on this difficulty, most hits are fatal anyway, so it doesn't really make that much difference. But it certainly can impact you. I personally am not that interested in playing with it because I think taking a hit is punishment enough on this difficulty level. Absolutely Critical is one that will really benefit you as a player, because if you play well, you will be doing all the flanking, so you will be getting non-stop criticals. It makes cleaning out the enemy so much quicker. So once again, if you want an easier game, put that on. Psionics can only be learned by interrogating a psionic alien, which I thought that was how it always worked. Personally, I always advanced the story by capturing a thin man and interrogating him. So I don't understand particularly what this does, unless there's one specific alien that it makes you capture. But yeah, I don't know what that changes, so I just leave it alone. Making the game longer for the sake of it is kind of, you know, hey, if you want a long game, then fine. Results driven, country will offer less funding as its panic increases. It's just an economic change, really, that's just going to result in a negative change to how much money you've got if you feel like you've always got too much money. It's one of those ones that I've always thought about putting on, but it does lead to the same situation as New Economy, which is that you just end up focusing on your cash cow countries and just ignoring 2 or 3 and just letting them fall. So it kind of can lead to metagaming the countries instead of trying to protect them all. So it's one of them. I just tend to leave it off. Random rewards, once again, you know, it's just randomness. Diminishing returns is an interesting one because you know, as all of this stuff is more or less economic stuff. It can be very. It can be easy, not easy, but it can potentially be a little bit too rewarding to focus all of your early money into satellites, and this is what that prevents. So let's put that on, actually. Psionic Gift is extremely rare. All that does is, like Marathon, it just drags out the game. Because once you have your first psionic character, I don't know about you, but generally speaking, when I have my first psionic character, I just win the game at that point. Because once you have your first psionic character, you can do the final mission. So I never sort of just carried on playing to get more and more psionic characters. Itchy trigger tentacles, really weird. So aliens might shoot instead of moving or going into Overwatch. What that does is, so when you trigger enemy pods, typically you're in position behind cover and maybe with Overwatch enabled to pick them off before they move. Having them just stand there and shoot back, I mean, not only is that not usually a good shot for them, but it then leaves them stood there in the open to be shot next turn. So it's kind of weird. I guess the one time that they stand there and shoot and they manage to kill one of your characters, you're going to feel like that's increased the difficulty for you. But I think most of the time it's going to result in aliens taking bad shots and then being stood in the open for you to just blast on your next turn. So I kind of favour leaving that off. Once again, aiming angles is the same as absolutely critical in that it's going to make the game a lot easier because you're going to be the one doing the flanking. And Mind Hates Matter is kind of odd. Psionic characters cannot genetically modified soldiers cannot undergo psi testing. Gifted soldiers could never receive genetic modifications. But once you've got your first psionic character, generally speaking, I just go and finish the game. So, you know, once again, it's one of these things that's not going to matter towards the end. It's just going to slow down, because you probably get your GM soldiers first. All it's going to do is slow down how, you know, the time it takes for you to unlock psi soldiers and actually go and finish the game. So anyway, that's my thoughts on all of those. So I'm going with these because I think that adds a lot of fun. And we'll add diminishing returns for a little bit of economic stress as well. Hopefully the game works. Either we're alone or we're not. I prefer that one. I prefer the original intro. I love how everyone just decides to put this thing. Actually quite realistic from what we know. Nice. It's so funny how those things don't do that, though, in the actual game.
Hello, Commander. In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the XCOM project. You have been chosen to lead this initiative, to oversee our first and last line of defense. Your efforts will have considerable influence on this planet's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed. Good luck, Commander.
So badass. This game is so badass compared to the second one, really. In my opinion. Right. What's kind of interesting is I can't remember ever playing as I think Asia. Air and space is good because it lets you get your alien fighters so much faster, which really allows you to defend the nations much more easily, which prevents panic, which, you know, just prevents game over from coming to get you. This tends to make the game's battles easier because you can research better gear faster and get it deployed onto the field before the difficulty ramps up. See, I've just never thought of these bonuses as being very useful, because these things save some resources, but not nearly as much as everything else. This is really powerful because it saves a lot of time. The aliens escalate over time, and this cuts a lot of time cost out from your research, which it's the same thing as Europe. It just means faster deployment of better gear. And obviously just extra money is always very useful. So I'm going to play as Asia, which I think is the weakest pick.
Australia has sent a number of requests for assistance, so that's our next drop site. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
It's a shame we're not doing the tutorial mission, because I actually think the tutorial mission's quite cool. Alien life on Earth.
Strike 1, this is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
Oh, there's meld on the first mission. My camera scroll is quite slow. I don't remember it being this slow. It's not. Oh, here we go. Gotta go faster. You can change difficulty? Huh. Weird.
Heading there now. That's what we're looking for.
That's the old meld. And you know what's funny is this is sort of like XCOM 2 creep in the first game. In that, you know, they just added all this stuff. They just kept adding things to the game.
I'm rolling.
My biggest pro tip for this game is never dash anywhere you can't see. You don't want to trigger a pod early.
Double time. Visual on the goods. Double time.
That'll do. Alien activity. I think they also wanted to try and add time pressure to the game.
Okay.
Overwatch. Overwatch push is basically how you play this game.
Okay.
Headed there now. Enemy spotted.
Ah, here they come.
ET's trying to crawl on my flank.
That was a mistake for me to trigger this pod so early. Can I get them both? I can. Enjoy. Okay, cover's gone. And no cover means that they will move. And if they move, they can trigger Overwatch. Now, this is one of the funny things that makes this game easier. Oh, come on.
No way that just happened.
Because they got 4 hit points on the hardest difficulty, they can survive a grenade.
Taking fire.
And since they can survive the grenade, you're enabled to grenade them and then shoot or capture them without actually risking
Moving to position.
killing them with explosives and therefore losing the loot.
No way that just happened.
That was a bad shot.
Got it covered.
Pistol's actually got better. I should have remembered this. Pistol's actually got a better chance to hit.
Hoorah!
Okay. Moving to position.
Let's go, team. There was one more, I thought. I thought there was 3. I don't know where the third one is.
I'm on it, Commander.
Oh yeah, there he is. Okay. I'm shocked I didn't die for that.
Eat this.
Catch!
Orders confirmed. On the move.
Already there.
Okay, we'll take the high ground here, would be very good.
Affirmative, moving out.
Unlikely that there's going to be a pod here where I've just cleaned out the enemy.
I'm on the move.
Well,
Got the goods.
collect it then.
Heading out.
I'm on the move. Enemy troops!
Aye! It's very awkward to actually click on these canisters.
It's been secured.
Too far away for me to charm them with a grenade.
Good
Oh,
to
I do
go.
have cover here, so I can just... They're not going to shoot from that distance. Oh, they are going to shoot from that
I'm
distance.
all right.
Now, there was an AI bug in this game, and I'll try not to abuse it, but there was an AI bug in this game where if you flanked an alien and then you put Overwatch on, it wouldn't move, it wouldn't do anything, and most of the rest of their units wouldn't do anything either. It's just like the AI just kind of locked up and stopped doing anything. 50-50. It's not bad. But I will try and avoid abusing that bug. It's kind of a hard one to trigger accidentally.
Yes, Commander. Look who's here.
Oh crap. I just triggered an extra pod, didn't I?
Roger that.
Fall back.
Moving.
Wow. My gun is quite limp today. I don't remember guns doing only 2 damage on this difficulty. Well, I got one hand grenade left, so I can just use that, I suppose.
Heading to that location.
Oh, he boosted him! Sweet, if I kill him, the feedback will kill the other one. He's also vulnerable to a grenade right now.
I'm taking fire.
Ooh, that's not good.
They're
She might die now.
reloading on us.
Oh, no, okay, fine.
Moving.
I don't think those are explosive barrels. I think I could just use the grenade here to guarantee the kill. Do you know what? If I use his grenade, then I can keep her on Overwatch.
Eat this!
Oh, what a throw! The feedback should have killed the other one as well. At least I hope that's how it still works on this difficulty. 50-50. I don't generally like 50-50 shots. Okay, there's still 4 there. Oh, that's not good. Okay, she may die doing this, but... She might die doing this, but that is a price I am going to have to be willing to pay. Actually.
Moving to position.
Got him.
Catch.
Hey, buddy. Hope you're feeling nice and exposed. Okay, so there should only be 2 left now.
Headed there now.
This guy doesn't seem to want to move from this position. But I don't think I have an easy way to get behind him.
Moving out.
Yet. Let's just hope there isn't another pod, but I think 3 pods is quite a lot for a starter mission, so... Hi. I think the feedback is not killing them. Oh, I think they're feeling the pressure of having one above.
There's heavy fire in this zone.
On my way.
Okay. Just stand by there for now.
Affirmative. Moving out.
Gotta be careful because that generator there will explode if it's hit. Still, I don't think they can actually get up here. They don't have grenades, so...
Got it covered.
Let's go, boys. Hi. This is not the best chance to hit, but we're gonna have to take it. Got him!
Bye-bye.
Oh, the other one got feedbacked. I guess you have to hit the one that's doing the buff. The things you forget when you haven't played this game for a while.
Got it covered.
Ready to rock.
Okay, I think there's one left. Yeah, he's over there.
You hear anything?
That's not a good shot.
I'm under fire!
This guy will actually enable me to make a decision as to whether I want to take this. 57, not great. Handgun chances. 57, not any better. Wow, I got 4 characters to have a bash with, so... Good hit.
My weapon's spent.
We can now use the handgun no matter what because we only need to do 1 damage.
I'm on the move. Adjusting sights.
How do you adjust sights on a pistol?
Heading to that location.
He's in a horrible position, it's just that I need to land shots. Got
I'm
him.
about to start
Good
keeping
work out
score.
there, Strike One.
If I may, Commander.
Nice.
The labs are on high alert. Teams are standing by for your orders. We can begin researching the newly recovered artifacts immediately.
Use grenades liberally. That's how you win on this difficulty. Just give no cares. Flush them out with grenades. Once you get a heavy, it gets easier.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander. I'm Central Officer Bradford. My
Hi,
role in this
Bradford.
project is twofold: providing tactical support for our field operations, and keeping you briefed on the current situation. My efforts should allow you to focus on the bigger issues at hand. Speaking of which, we have a soldier waiting for a promotion in the barracks. I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, if you played the tutorial, 3 of them would be dead, so you would have a soldier that's waiting promotion. But if you play without the tutorial, which you can't enable on Impossible, then all of them survive. Gonk. I don't think you can... The first ability is always the signature ability of the class.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
So yeah, my first heavy has only got 4 HP. And awful will and awful aim is just garbage. This is what I mean. I'll have to get rid of him as soon as possible.
The recovered artifacts are being unloaded, and the research team is waiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander.
See, this is another thing playing on the hardest difficulty does, is it results in you getting more stuff because there's more aliens.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Right, let's have a look at the old Doom board. I'm not allowed to go anywhere but mission control, am I? Right, first things first. Four plus 1, 62 and 74. That's pretty solid. I might, in between episodes, rename these guys to my favourite Patreon supporters. So look forward to that. Although maybe not characters that I might not use because they're rubbish.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
What do we got? 3 and 2 50s. It's not great. A 60 in aim and a 25 in will. Oof. Horrible. Oh man, we have a lot of 3-pointers. 75 aim. Oh, Miss Wallace might end up on my
Commander
team.
to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Another one with a 70 in aim and 55 in will. Actually, not so bad. $40, 60, yeah. $37, 60. It's not good, man. There's another one with horrible willpower.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Okay, I'm not feeling this team, you know. But, you know, it's early days, I suppose. I think with 25 will, this is probably a soldier that we can afford to lose. That's another thing, is when your base gets invaded, there's a point in this game where your base gets invaded. When your base gets invaded,
Commander to the research labs.
random soldiers on your roster will be called to defend. Which means that if you have a lot of rookies that are total garbage, they can potentially be summoned to that fight and be useless.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the...
Okay, shut up. Let's get this done.
Hello, Commander. My name is Dr. Farlan. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place. We have already begun analyzing the artifacts recovered from our first encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new equipment for our soldiers. With your approval, we will begin research immediately.
She's like the most realistic
Research
scientist in a game ever. I miss her. This is another thing I didn't like about XCOM 2. It's like, you know, the whole Shen's daughter thing is very cute and everything. But this woman just oozes, like, I'm a scientist, I'm good at my job, and I'm just going to tell you, you know, like any military organization, which is what XCOM is, I'm just going to tell you the pertinent information so that you can make the decision. And that's it. That's about as much as I want to talk to you. And the bit during the tutorial where if you use a grenade, she's like, you know, every alien you blow up with explosives means less artifacts for us to research. Just something to keep in mind. It's like the hesitancy of, you know, there's a military operation going on and she's speaking up, but she shouldn't be speaking up. Because in that situation, of course, the primary focus is winning the combat, is the soldier's safety, and she's just there as an observer. You know, and if you're there as an observer in a military situation, you don't say anything. I really like her as a character, and she disappeared in the second game to be replaced by, you know, I mean, as I said, the whole of XCOM 2's story just feels very like a fan fiction of the first game. It's made me a little bit sad.
Commander to engineering. Commander to engineering.
Right, let's get on weapons because, well, one, we're playing on the hardest difficulty and I need them, and two, we have cheaper foundry, so
I agree. That does
might as well
seem to
try
be the
and-
most pressing of our current research options. We'll begin immediately. I will notify you when a complete report is available.
we should take advantage of our special trait as soon as possible.
Ah, Commander. I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
Commander to engineering. Commander to engineering.
Man, I worked in engineering for a long, long time. It was, there's just an attitude that comes with being an engineer. This game really sort of captivates the stereotype very well. Wow, I have double steam on the ground floor. Sweet.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
The only problem is my satellite uplink is in the same part of the base as all the steam.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission
What
control.
am I allowed to build at the start? I might not even need to do any power linking at all. So when you build next to each other,
Commander to mission control.
you gain bonuses for facilities being linked to each other. I might not need to do that at all because I could just run 3 thermo and that would be sufficient. Especially with these two next to each other. I think the worst case scenario was you'd run 3 thermo and then put a power plant in between these two to generate more bonuses. The only issue is I wish the satellite uplink was on the opposite side because then I could just link them together. The most efficient way to build satellite uplinks would be like 4 in a block.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
I don't think I need to really do anything here at this time. I don't think there's anything I need to build. Healing items are kind of useless on this difficulty because generally speaking your guys are going to die in one hit, so get used to that idea, at least at the start. Right, I don't know if there's anything else left to do right at this moment. I don't have the situation room yet, so I can't actually see what my various incomes are. I try and avoid building any buildings on the first month, because obviously all buildings have got maintenance costs. If you can avoid making any on the first month, and then you can just start spamming them out. A lot of people start building these shafts straight away, but they do have a 10 whatever these are, mega dollars or whatever. They do have a cost, so it's just something that you need to keep in mind. Okay, I guess it's going to be it for now. I don't think I'm allowed to really do much yet. So I get in there and customize all my soldiers. The one with 20 will, I can't see how any amount of random of really good rolls could save that character, but the rest of them should be usable. But that is it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.